right, short and sweet. We're ready to roll. Excited to get back on the grass, man. This is never gets old. This is, like I said a week or so ago, everything builds to this, and this is what we love to do. To be able to get back into the meetings, get back onto the field, and just start putting it together and getting ready to go compete against some other people. So it's a lot of fun. We've had a good couple of weeks as far as staff-wise getting ready with our meetings and prep, and then last couple of days with the players, trying to get them, acclimated from a program standpoint as well. And now we can get out there and get on with it, and get to work on the football side of it. So ready to roll.
David Hood with TigerNet.com. We're talking about the heat. I can't remember a start fall camp this hot in a long time. So as a coach, you like that, right? You love to get these guys out there and sweat them up.
As I tell you all the time, mo hotter, mo better. I love it. Ran about 4 miles today at lunch. I love the heat. They practice in it, they train in it all summer long, so it's nothing new to those guys. I mean, this is what they do. So got a good plan as far as our acclimatization and how we ramp up at practice, and it's a little different this year because you got to prepare for a longer season. You could play as much as 17 games. You could play all the way to late January. So tweaked a couple things as far as how we go about our camp and just our plan as far as making sure we got our rest days built in and recovery opportunity and all that type of stuff. But they've been training in the heat all summer, and so just be another day for them.
Brian Wesco weighing at 182 yesterday. I mean, do you feel pretty good about him physically where he is going into the season, contributing play regularly?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I felt good about him in the spring at 170. He showed up and really caught on quickly and really competed all spring, and he demonstrated that he could mentally do what he needed to do and physically do what he needed to do this spring. But it's about just becoming the best version of himself since he's been here. So him getting stronger, bigger, will help him just compete better and help him. It'll accentuate, what he already does well. It'll accentuate those things. So, proud of him and all the guys and how they, how they've worked hard. The team's done a great job. We're big, we're strong, and we've got a lot of guys that really bought into what they needed to do from a nutrition standpoint and a strength conditioning standpoint. So good summer from that aspect. Now we got to get to work on the field.
I know that you get kind of daily or weekly reports on them, but did anybody surprise you in a good way where they went in, or a bad way too?
No, we in tune everything going on all throughout the summer. So it's not like it used to be where you never see them or things like that. I mean, these guys they've done what they need to do. So I expected them all to, based on what we did in the spring, and all the exit meetings, and to buy into what we asked of them, and they did. And then you kind of are engaged all summer long on where they are. So there was really nobody that really shocked me, nobody that I was disappointed in or anything like that. I mean, I was very encouraged by all these guys on where they are, and especially with their body composition.
I think Peter Woods told us during the spring he was shooting for 295. What is 319? Can you give us your assessment of that?
Yeah, as I said, it's about the composition. He's really lean. He's a freaky dude. He's a very lean guy. He's leaner than guys that weigh 280 in some cases. So just a unique human being. That's the best way I can describe it. He can run for days. He's in great shape. He's going to play a lot of snaps. And he's going to play multiple positions. He's going to play probably every position across the front. But obviously when you're playing out and in, there's a little bit more space involved and things like that. But I mean, he crushed every number. I mean, he just he's just a big, strong kid. He looks at a weight and he gets strong. I mean, so he's in a good place with his body composition.
You mentioned 2 weeks ago about injuries. You guys are entering the preseason kind of more healthy compared to last season. Is that still the same entering today?
Yeah, y'all will see that. This is probably, the best we've been in a long time going out to day one. And we're ready to roll. I think, Miles Oliver, who's been out, he tore his ACL last year. He's at one, but I think we got maybe 2 guys in green, maybe, that are just kind of little ticky-tack things that they're kind of pushing through from coming out of training. But we're in a good spot right now.
Dabo, with being able to have so many different additional coaches on the field, with special teams, does that change anything procedurally when you've got like a Ryan Allen who can kind of come in, work with punters? Just didn't know if you divide things up differently or if it means anything different for the kickers who normally don't have dedicated coaches to them.
Yeah, it changes everything. We got a 1-to-1 ratio. There's going to be a lot of scrutiny. It's going to be, we haven't added staff. We have the same amount of staff that we've always had, but they just have never been able to coach on the field, within the rules. And so they haven't been able to do that. Haven't been able to run meetings, that type of stuff. So been able to do everything else. They can recruit. They obviously help support the coaches and game plan and all that stuff, but they were limited as far as practice. So what it'll do is and again, it will make you more efficient, and it'll create hopefully a lot of scrutiny and just a little more attention to details across the board, because everybody can coach, everybody's got a voice, and that's why I hired Ryan, and because now, I can have a true specialist coach that can coach on the field and kind of manage that group from a specialist, and then Will Gilchrist will be our director of special teams, and he'll orchestrate everything. So it's really, really good. I'm excited. And then all the coaches, they're all involved. Everybody, we got all these support guys that have been chomping at the bit to get out on the field, and now they get the opportunity to do it. So, in the past, you had just your 10 coaches, myself, and the 4 GAs. And you had to have GAs because they could only coach if they were a GA. So we don't even need we converted all the GAs. We don't need a GA. All of our GAs already got master's degrees. We need them coaching. We need them. You had to do that in the past, but now that everybody can, we just converted all those, and everybody's on the field and everybody's doing what they need to do. So I'm excited about just the amount of, like I said, attention that we'll be able to put on every single player. Should be a lot of fun.
Dabo, obviously fall camp is full of competition and position battles, but how do you build continuity when you have those position battles happening?
That's just part. That doesn't start now. That continuity and chemistry and your leadership and your team development and all that stuff, that's been going since January. We've started that in January. So if you're trying to get that now on first day of practice, you're behind the 8 ball. We've got a close team, and this team is, literally, truly, they're very close. I think they really love each other. That's been very apparent to me. I've had a lot of fun in the meetings with them the last couple of days, and just, their energy, their vibe, their things they've articulated, and just, you can tell that there's very good leadership, but they're close, and that's important. So again, you don't do that on August 1st. You're way behind it. You just continue that journey. And so they all know each other well. They all know the depth chart, where we are right now. They all are going to get a chance to compete. But that's also a big part of as you go through camp, because we've got about, the next, 20 days of just football, no school, just football, all camp. So kind of solidifying that team component, that togetherness, the chemistry, that's, I think, already in a really good spot. That's just a part that's woven into what we do. It's our meetings, it's our speakers, it's our things that we do internally, to make sure everybody really appreciates each other, knows each other, and so forth.
I guess Sammy Brown, I think you said he focused on one position of linebacker mostly in the spring. Do you anticipate him doing more cross-training or kind of sitting at that one spot?
No, I think he'll learn both as he goes. I think we just wanted to get him to a good spot, good start. But I think we'll see where he is the first week. Obviously, we haven't been on the field with him since spring, so we'll see where he is. But he's a guy that's he'll have to master the Mike and Will throughout his career. So that process has already started and will continue.
What do you want to see out of TJ Moore in his first kind of formal practice?
Just where he's at. I mean, I have no clue. So literally first meeting I've been in with him. He's obviously a super talented young prospect, but I don't have any assumptions. My only assumptions I have is I can't wait to get out there and just watch his natural ball skills. He's a great ball skill guy. He's a finisher on the ball, and those are things that I expect to see. But all the rest of it, I gotta get out there. It's gonna be fast. So we'll see where he's at. I don't really know till we get out there, but I'm excited he's finally here. That's for sure.
I think you said going into last year, ideally at receiver, your freshmen are backups and they're able to play, they're able to sort of progress naturally. But you haven't had that luxury because of all the injuries in recent years. Is that still the ideal, that your veteran guys or the frontline guys?
I mean,